Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 6 of Racecentre's Formula 1 League 2020. Tonight we're at Catalunya in Barcelona. 66 laps. Each track length is, each lap is 4.6 kilometres, and the lap record is held by Daniel Ricciardo with a 1:18.441. Today, the track temperatures are 32 degrees, but looking at the weather, that might change as we might be getting a bit of cloud later on. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Might just check out the sectors and the DRS zones. As you can see, between turns 8 and 9 is the first detection zone, with the activation zone just after turn 9. And the second detection zone is just after the chicane coming onto the main straight, turn 15. And the activation is just after the last corner onto the main straight. So at the speed trap, we should see about 320, 315 kilometres per hour as they brake hard into turn 1. Currently, the season standings after Silverstone last round. Scott Flack getting the win and the fastest lap of the race, so he extends his lead to 88 points. In P2, we've got Thomas Foster on 74. Halil Caesar, who couldn't make it tonight due to braking issues, he's on 66 points. Michael Donnellan on 45. P5 climbing the ladder is Marty Porter in the Mercedes on 42 points. JC Richards, P6. Scott Fitzsimons also climbing the ladder on 32 points. David Borg on 30. Trent Grabel, 26. And Adrian Sarkis in P10 on 21 points. We're going to go live now. Currently watching Scott Flack, who's just moved into P1. We can bring up his sector times. He's on P1 with a 1:15.4. Close behind him with a 1:15.9 is Thomas Foster, and Marty Porter is yet to really post a flyer. I'll just see where Marty is at the moment. He's coming out on his out lap, so he'll be posting a lap soon. It's good to see Scott Daniels back racing with us in the McLaren Lando Norris entry. It's his first time this year to get back in the saddle, but he's been a Formula 1 champion of ours a couple of years ago, so it's exciting to see where he'll finish up tonight. Quite a tricky hairpin. Really got to slow down, get the car to turn in, otherwise you just outside the track there and lose your momentum. Coming into turns 14, 15, 16, and onto the main straight. Scott's not really on a flyer at the moment, so we'll see who's posting some pink times. Okay, so here comes Marty Porter on his flying lap. Okay, so he's already half a second off on the first sector. That was posted by Flack with a 19.89. Running wide there, trying to stay on track limits. Use all the track as we head up the hill. Here's another detection zone. You can see the DRS open now. he's just blown that lap. As I mentioned before, you really got to stabilise the car, get the car to turn in. Otherwise you'll loop it like Marty's just done and wasted a lap. Those tyres will be flat spotted now, so they do affect the car, and especially on the full motion sims, it's not a comfortable thing to be driving, so he should really come in for another set of tyres. It's a shame because he was on a PB for his second sector, so it'll be interesting to see how he finished there. Flack still in P1 with a 1:14. Closest is Thomas Foster on a 1:15.8. So Scott again showing that Silverstone wasn't a fluke, so he's doing really good times out the front. Michael Donnellan's coming in for his fastest lap now. Let's see what his current speed is. No. He's held the inside quite nicely there. He's able to get back on the gas. Could have used a bit more road there. Looks like he's taken the corners quite well, braking early. Currently on the soft tyres. He's not on his best lap at the moment, but he has just activated TRS and he's got a PB on the second sector. Yeah, as you can see, trying to get back on the gas a bit early there. And he's also made a mistake for his hot lap. Scott Fitzsimons in the Toro Rosso coming down the main straight. About to start his hot lap. We'll go on board with Scott. Really wrestling the car there, trying to get it to turn in. 6th gear. Oh, he's run wide there, lucky he didn't get in the grass. He's on a PB. Okay, TRS should be activated now, so he's on a pretty smooth lap. He's on his PB, so this is good. Can he get it turned in? Yes. Nice exit there. Got to keep it on the inside, make sure you're not wearing the outside tyres. You can see on the left, front left are kind of wearing out quite easily. Very tricky section there. Comes down the main straight. Okay, so he's just jumped a spot there, now into P5. Good job from Scott there. See what Mike McLean's doing, not too sure where he's at the moment. He's best as a 121. Scott Daniels. Oh, commentator's curse. Looks like he's just come off the circuit. Maybe he's coming in for a second hot lap, but he's not going to make it because that's the end of qualifying session. So as it stands, looks like everyone's still out trying to post their fastest time. Thomas Foster with a 1:15.6. He improves a little, but Scott Flack too strong out front with a 1:14.856. Marty's still on circuit, so he's our best option at the moment, but he's already 0.8 off, so I can't see him gaining that back through the next two sections. Scott Daniels still just bringing it into the pits, getting a prep for the race, but we'll go back with Marty Porter as he runs wide there, activating the JRS quite late. He gets the car to turn in nice and gets back on the gas. Nice and smooth. He runs wide again, so I'd say the stewards will disallow that lap. Okay, so here's the last one on the circuit, on a flyer, so it looks like the grid is set. How do we go with qualify? Let's have a look. Okay, so the starting order, Scott Flack P1, Thomas Foster P2, Marty Porter with a P3 in the Mercedes, Scott Daniels in P4, Scott Fitzsimons P5, Michael Donnellan P6, Mike McLean P7, and Shane Guilford in P8. Just going to cut to a commercial break now. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for round 6 of Racecentre's Formula 1 League for 2020. Today we're at Catalunya. On screen to top qualifier Scott Flack. He'll be starting off pole with a 1:14.839. Next to him will be Thomas Foster. He qualified with a 1:15.660, so those two will be starting off the front row of the grid. Starting in P3 is Marty Porter, also in a Mercedes with a 1:16.594. Next to him is Scott Daniels, who we haven't seen for a while. Good to see him back. He's the next Racecentre Formula 1 champion. He will be starting off P4 with a 1:17.141. The third row of the grid was another good qualifying for Scott Fitzsimons. He's going to be starting off P5 with a 1:18.187. Next to him, Michael Donnellan in the Alfa Romeo. Qualified with a 1:18.495, so not much between them. And behind is Mike McLean, who'll be starting off P7 with a 1:21.657. He only just come onto the track late, and he's going to be starting on hard tyres, which I probably find hard to warm up, to be honest. Going to the track info. It's a 66 lap race. Track length's 4.65 kilometres, and the current lap record is Daniel Ricciardo with a 1:18.441. Just showing you the DRS zones. There are two at this circuit. Down the main straight, it's activated after the final corner, and the detection zones between turns 15 to 16, and the first DRS zone is detection just before turn 9 and activated just after turn 9. So just waiting for the tail to grid up now. Waiting for the lights. And they're often Thomas Foster gets a great start, but it's Scott Flack with the second stage of the start that's going to get the run down the middle. We'll see who's got the better brakes. Looks like Scott Flack, Thomas Foster yielded to Scott Flack in P2. You see changing tyre choice, some with soft, some with medium. We've got Marty Porter P3, Scott Daniels P4. Bringing up the rear, Shane Guilford, Scott Fitzsimons, Michael Donnellan P7, and Mike McLean P8. Shane's just showing the nose up on a Scott here as he moves up the position. Michael Zellen just collecting that inside curve. We haven't got DRS activated yet. He's up the slipstream. Oh, he's going for a big one. Oh, and he's taking out Shane Guilford. Not a good move there. But Michael will get back on the track. Okay, Scott Fitzsimons back up the front. Scott Flack's pulling away a little bit while the two Mercedes decide who's going to do the chasing. But it's Foster in the moment in P2 with Marty Porter right behind him. Coming down the main straight. Porter chasing hard, trying to get in the slipstream without DRS. And they're both on different tyre strategies as well. So Thomas should be faster, but he's just made a mistake there. He's just let Marty Porter go with an easy position change up into P2. Chasing behind them is Scott Daniels. As I said, he hasn't been in the sim for a while, so it's good to see him back. Currently in P4. DRS will be activated after the next lap, so while they're still within a second of each other, they'll be able to activate the DRS and we'll be able to see that after turn 1. Mike McLean struggling on those hard tyres as he's overshooting, trying to get the temps up. He's unable to brake in time to take the tricky corner there. Scott Fitzsimons currently in P6. And there's Shane Guilford and Michael Donnellan caught up in that earlier incident. Back up the front, you can see Scott starting to pull away now. Starting to gap Thomas Foster in P2. Actually P3 I should say, and Marty Porter's already moved up in P2. So they're spacing out a little bit. It looks like they're outside the 1 second mark. I haven't seen any DRS activated at this stage. Someone running wide in the background there, but they all make it quite cleanly through the so-called hairpin. It's a tricky turn as it loads heavily on the front left. Looks like they're closing up. Looks like Scott's made a minor mistake there, but he's managed to stretch away. Still the front four pulling away from the rest of the field. There's a bit of a gap down to 5th. That's Scott Fitzsimons and Shane Guilford. It looks like Shane... Well, Scott's just run a bit wide there. Shane's got an easy pass on the inside on soft tyres. And he gets the job done for P5. Oh, Scott's just made a mistake hooking it. Coming out of that corner, maybe his tyres aren't back up to temp. Back up the front of Scott Flack. Be interesting to see what the tyre strategies are here. We've got the front two on mediums. Then we've got Thomas Foster on softs. I think Scott Daniels I saw was on softs, mediums as well. We should see Foster get up the back of Porter because of the tyre difference. He is showing that he's got the pace. After that little mistake, he's managed to gain back and get on the back of Marty Porter. So he's gaining a little bit down the main straight. Looks like Marty's DRS is open, so he's not going to catch too much without himself having DRS. Takes turn 1, 2 and 3. Take this flat if you get the right line, especially on softs. It's really going to hurt the front left throughout the race. You see Marty Porter just smoking up the tyres there as he runs wide, and Thomas has hit the wall. Oh, he's gone, he's hit the wall. He's going to lose valuable time here trying to chase the guys at front. He's waited for the field to pass before he rejoins the circuit. There goes Scott Fitzsimons. So it's taken him a bit of time. He's lost a bit of time there to the leaders, so he'll have to fight hard to get that back. Looks like Marty's closing up a bit now on Scott Flack. Scott's been quite strong over the last couple of races, showing his good pace up the front at Silverstone. We'll see if he dominates here again at Catalunya. Okay, Marty Porter's got his DRS activated, but he's not really closing in. As I say that, he's right up under brakes. But he's lost it out through turns 1, 2 and 3. You can see where Scott's quite a bit stronger there. He took it easy coming into the corner. Marty just overshot it with the extra speed. Marty's still within range because we're seeing the DRS keep being activated there, so he is closing, but not enough to threaten Scott at the moment. We'll see if he gets a good run on the main straight, because we're going through the detection zone right about now. Turns 15, 16. Then we'll see it activate once again. There it goes. So Scott Flack, Marty Porter, Scott Daniels, Shane Gilford, Scott Fitzsimons, with Thomas Foster right behind. DRS open. Is he going to get the job done in turn 1? Ducking out of the stream. In he goes. Takes P5, but Scott's trying to make it an issue, get in his draft and stay with him as much as he can. But the tyre difference, Foster being on softs, he can get away a lot earlier. Get through the corner. Okay, Scott Daniels quite patiently back there without any DRS assistance. He's just getting faster and faster each lap as the race goes on. Through practice and qualify, he was definitely getting faster in the times, and in the long stint he's quite strong. You see Marty's keeping Scott Flack honest, but Scott Daniels is slowly creeping behind. He's about 2 seconds further back from the lead pack. Looks like Mike McLean's retired early, as he's in the pit garage. Back up front, Marty Porter still there, still in the mirrors. Very close now, we can see DRS open. Is there long enough to get up underneath? No, Scott's still in control. Marty got a good line through there. Getting up close, he's trying to keep up the back of Scott as he's keeping him honest. Scott's just controlling the situation at the moment. Trying to make these tyres work. So this is bringing the three up together now. Marty should have about 10-15 kilometres extra, but he decides not to take the dive in the turn 1. Marty's starting to fall back into the clutches of Scott Daniels as he's improving lap after lap. We're on the 7th lap at the moment. The other needs to catch and pass Scott Flack, or he's going to be swallowed up by Scott Daniels in the McLaren. It's still early days yet. It's a 66 lap race, so where they're just managing the toes. You can see the front rotors heating up a fair bit there. All the loads on the front left to keep the car turning on track for that long left-hander, right-hander. Down the main straight, Scott's within range and the STRS is open, but it's closed again, so he might be having activation issues. Usually to do with a sticky brake pedal as the flaps are disengaged on the application of the brake pedal. So we'll see if the team can advise what he can do on board, otherwise he'll have to carry that throughout the race. That could hinder his race tonight, trying to get past Marty Porter and eventually trying to catch Scott Flack out front. Starting to stretch his lead now. But all the action's down for P2 with Marty Porter and Scott Daniels. See, it's a beautiful sunny day. Track temp's up to about 30 degrees now. So this will play a part in the tyre strategy. Guys on mediums, you can see them just struggling to keep it smooth there. Scott Daniels should be right behind him, wanting to collect. He's not close enough to make any effect at the moment. You can see he runs a bit wide, trying to get on the gas early as he turns in. This is the front three we're watching. Still Scott Flack out front, Marty Porter second, and Scott Daniels on screen in P3. P4, we've got Shane Guilford and Thomas Foster right behind after that early mistake. He's made up a couple of positions, but now he's on the back of Shane Guilford with the DRS open, hoping to make some ground on him on this turn. This is currently at the battle for 4th position. Shane's on softs at the moment, so is Foster, so pace should be equal, but you can see Foster a lot stronger through there. Racing Point just running over the curves, which is definitely not allowing you to get on the power as much. He runs wide as Foster with the earlier detection gets to use the DRS. And he gets the job done, moving up into P4, relegating Shane down to P5. So now his job's just to keep his head down and catch Scott Daniels in P3 as he's on the back of Marty Porter. Looks like he's a bit hot on the brakes there. But he's still in touch with Marty Porter in P2. Flying right-handers, some lift, some just keep the foot down. You see the DRS opening and closing there, really frustrating for Daniels in the cockpit. You can hear him on the radio talking to his team. They've got no answers for him at the moment, as it looks like it's a sticky brake pedal. Hopefully they get that sorted out for Spa next round. There's the front three all within a second of each other on the main straight. You can see them as they round onto the main straight. We're on lap 11. Porter's got the DRS open and Daniel's just happy to stay in the slipstream, which is just as strong as the DRS on this circuit. Great little battle up front for these guys. It's a shame Foster had that earlier incident. He could have been here as well on the soft tyres, but he's probably going to need to pit pretty early, as I think the softs are going to last about 15 or 16 laps. So during that time, we should see that pit window open for him. Porter definitely closing up on Flack, but Flack getting out of the turns a lot better through this section. Daniel's right on the back of Porter now. He's moved out of the slipstream, trying to make it down the main straight, and there's the DRS staying open. And he gets the job done. He's up into P2. Great move. Will Porter come back? No. He knows it's a long run. It's lap 12 of the 66 lap race, so there's plenty of time for that as he runs wide. Trying to keep those attempts down on the front left. I wonder if Scott Daniels is happy to just sit behind Scott Flack out front, or he wants to chase and overtake. Force Flack to run a different game. He looks too comfortable out front. We see Daniels with the DRS open, closing. And in the background we can see Foster gaining. Great job. You can see him really must be pushing on those softs, as he's definitely gaining on the back of these three. So within about 4 or 5 laps we should see them all together. Daniel's starting to pull away from Porter now as they go down the main straight to collect the 13th lap. You can see all four all within range of each other. Speeds up to 330 kilometers per hour as they hit the first turn. Scott Fitzsimon's still on the hards, trying to make them work, but he's struggling to get them to heat up and get to the optimal performance from the hards. So he needs to really run the course of these tyres and then change for mediums or softs. Michael Donnellan on mediums, still in P7 at the moment. Taking a wide there. On ball with Michael Donnellan as we go into turn 9. Runs a bit wide, but that's okay. Hard to judge his braking zone as it's a really tight left-hand corner. It's really hard to pull the car up. But once you do, you've got to get on the gas again. And let the car just settle in, turn in by itself. Constantly loading the front left, which is burning him up quite a lot. He's dodged the curbs there, so that's good. Gets a good run through there, coming onto the main straight. We're in excess of 290, 300 kilometres as he crosses the start-finish line. Top speed at 3:15 as he breaks into turn 1. Back up front, the positions haven't changed. Still Scott Daniels pulling away from Marty Porter. He's also falling in with the clutches of... actually, he has fallen in the clutches. Tom Foster's up into P3 at the moment. Looks like Marty Porter just ducked into pit lane, so lap 15 and he's in on mediums. We'll see what he changes to. Quick pit stop there, so he's gone for another set of mediums. There's no minimum use on each compound with us. You can choose whatever tyre you want. As he rejoins the circuit. We should see the others follow suit now. Maybe Scott's being too comfortable out front and he's going to extend it a few more laps. But Scott Daniels trying to chase him down in P2. Thomas Foster, great job. Back up into P3 at the moment on those softs. And he's making him last longer than Marty Porter's mediums. Which is quite an impressive job. He's closing on Scott Daniels. You can see the gap narrowing down now. Scott's just running a bit wider. So is Thomas. You see the front end trying to dig in, trying to turn. Great effort from Foster considering he had that earlier spin, falling back to 7th position. Now he's back up into P3. The DRS open, closing in on Daniels. And sniff him out. You can see on the wheel the speeds of 290 as he takes a right hand turn. Sweeping right hander can be full gas sometimes, or drop a gear and keep the pedal pinned. Or as he closes right up on the back of Daniels out of braking. Struggling for front grip when you're in the draft of the car in front. A lot of dirty air into the braking zone. You should see Foster. Actually, it looks like Foster's dived into the pits as well. He's on his second set. He's gone from softs and he's remained on softs, so that's an interesting run. He knows he's quite quicker than everyone else, and he's making the tyres last just as long. So we'll see where he ends up with Marty Porter, and Marty Porter's just taken P3. He's obviously come in early, got the undercut from Foster as he takes it round. His tyres are already warmed up, so Foster's now just got to stay close to him, warm the softs up, and then he can gain again. See Marty trying to push it wide. Foster's running a tighter line there. Fossy's got a lot more grip coming in on the turn. Heavy brakes in the sharp left-hand corner. And we've got a left-right, we've got to brake hard. And just let the car run wide and take the next right-hander. Important to dodge the sausage curve here because it really unsettles the car. Momentum. Oh, Marty Porter slipped it. He's gone off. It looks like he's regained it just in time. It looks like he was going straight back in the pits there. But he's managed to hold it. And Scott Daniels coming out. So within the home stretch, Foster's gone from P4 to P2. And now it's Porter and Daniels fighting it out for P3. Just run it wide there. In P5 it's still Shane Gilfeather Behind him, Scott Daniels. We can see Scott Flack at the end of the straight, about to lap Scott. So Michael Donnellan lapping in P7. Trying to stay out of trouble. Scott's yet to pit. So we can see he's got at least a 30-second advantage over Thomas Foster in P2 and Scott and Marty P3 and 4. We'll be back after these commercials. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, we've still got a great battle for P3 with Scott Daniels and Marty Porter just behind. They're not really letting each other go. Marty's fighting hard to stay on the back of Scott as he runs wide. Tricky corner to keep the car inside as it wants to run out on full gas. You really have to back off and let the car turn in slightly there. Wide entry with a tight exit on the apex, so that's a good run from Scott. So lap 24, we've got Scott back up front, just about to catch and pass Scott Fitzsimons, it looks like. He's in P1. Thomas Foster in P2, not far behind actually. Really good job there. Really making those soft tyres work for him. He's about 3 or 4 seconds behind Scott Flack in P1. Scott Daniels P3. And right behind him, Marty Porter in P4. Shane's about in straight gap, about 10 seconds. He's circulating in P6, P5 I should say. Scott Fitzsimons in P6, the Toro Rosso. As he's got Thomas Foster about to lap him under blue flags. So he moves over, letting Thomas Foster through. You can see Scott Flack on the back of Donnellan, or now in front of Donnellan. Bit of a glitch there. Closing quite tight behind Nellen. Should be able to see Thomas Foster making the move as he does. Not cleanly though, he's made a spin, tangled with the back marker. He's got no one around him, so he's just regained keeping position in P2. Not sure what happened there. We're on board with Nellen at the time. Looks like they've come together on the final turn there. Pack all bunching up now that we're circulating. The front 3 or 4 are still within 1 to 2 seconds apart of each other. Looks like Denellen in P6 is just ahead of Scott Fitzsimons. On board with Foster now, trying to regain the position. Just relap Michael Denellen. See if they come together again. Like Denellen's coming through, next set of rubber. Was on mediums. It looks like he's going to stay on mediums. Get his good stop. Or maybe he's serving a 10-second penalty for cutting that corner. I'm not too sure. Okay, back on track with Scott Flack. Still in P1. So it looks like the gap is the full length of between turns 9 and 10, between Foster and Daniel. You see Daniel's there, not too far behind. And right behind him, still keeping in touch, is Marty Porter. Looks like it'll be a 2 to 3 pit stop race. Maybe they'll go on to softs later on in the race to try and post the fastest lap as the drivers get an extra point on the championship if they complete the race with the fastest lap. Speaking of the championship, we'll just currently have a look at the current standings. Before Catalunya, Scott Flack leading at the moment on 88. Thomas Foster second with 74 points. Little Caesar, who couldn't make it tonight, he'll drop back a little bit after this one. He's currently in P3. Michael Denellen in P4 on 45 points. Moving up the table is Marty Porter, he's on 42. JC Richards 38, Scott Fitzsimons 32. position 8 in the championship. David Borg on 30. Trent Rebel on 26 points in P9. And top 10 is Adrian Sarkis on 21 points. We're still on board with Scott Daniels at the moment. Let's see if he's gaining on Scott Flack. Can't see him in the foreground. It looks like Scott's coming up to the last couple of corners before the main straight. Looks like he's definitely stretching out. He's gone to soft tyres as well. So he'll probably come in for another set after this at least, as we're only on lap 31 at the moment. He's got quite a healthy lead ahead of Thomas Foster. He's not even coming onto the main straight yet. Last turn now. You can see Scott Daniels in the background trying to chase Thomas Foster down. It's pretty hard to do when he's on mediums, and Foster's doing a great job conserving the softs and making them work for him. So he almost went wide there, but he's cutting nice and tight for the next corner. Front rotor's definitely working hard. Not many heavy braking zones at Catalunya, very fast flowing circuit, more demanding on tyres I would say. Turn 10 is definitely the hardest one under brakes, as you'll see them lighting up as you turn over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Full carbon brake disc. He's currently lapping in P2 at the moment. You can see Scott slightly closing in, I'd say. Definitely gap narrowing as we can visually see the difference there as they go down the main straight. Almost halfway, lap 32. Thomas Foster pulling in the pits just before Scott Daniels gets to the back of him. Obviously, Foster struggling on the softs, not lasting as long, but definitely lapping a lot quicker than the rest of the guys at the moment. He's in for his third set of softs, so he re-enters the circuit. Well, it looks like he's pulled out of the race live on air. He's just given up and thought, nah, I don't want to do this, so he's retired. Or we could have some electrical issue as we get on board with Scott Fitzsimons dogging it out with Denellen, as Denellen just taps him in the back there. He's just yielding to make sure that Scott Fitzsimons regains the position. Scott's run wide there, outbraked himself, and that's allowed Denellen to get back in front. Scott on soft should have the better grip, as we saw Denellen come into the pits not long ago. Very close. front downforce definitely affected as you hang back behind another car. But we should have DRS down the main straight. And there it is, it's open, but he's not really gaining enough as Denellen runs wide there, allowing Fitzsimons to get up even closer. Maybe he's just waiting for the move down the main straight. They both run wide in the rough stuff as they try and come in. We've also got P2 trying to come and lap them both. So a very tricky situation. We've got a race up the front here, but also Marty Porter trying to regain behind. As they come down the main straight, Fitzsimons got the DRS open, extra 20 kilometres an hour. Denellen's not defending. But he manages to outbrake Scott, which is a great job to defend the position. Quite a strong battle going on here. I think Fitzsimons can see Porter in the background trying to give way to him, which he does nice and cleanly. Good job. That's Porter trying to get past Denellen. Denellen gives room on the inside, allowing Porter to just get through nice and easily. Good job from the back markers. It looks like Scott Fitzsimons made the most of it too, as he's gained a position ahead of Denellen there. So he'll move up into P5. And Denellen in P6. As we just saw Thomas Foster retire from the race due to some issues. Fitzsimons able to pull away from Denellen for position using the DRS from being on the back of Porter through the detection zone. Turns 15. So now he's stretching away on the softs away from Denellen. Shane's still cutting some laps around in P4 at the moment. See if Scott Daniels still in P2. Got Scott Black in P1 still. We'll be back after these commercials.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength. There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on lap 61 of 66 of the Catalunya Grand Prix, Formula One League, Racecentre. And we're watching Scott Daniels still in P2, just about to catch and lap Michael Denellen. Michael just gives way, which is obeying the blue flags, which is good to see. Still in P1, it's Scott Flack out front. He's dominated all day today. I don't think he's lost the lead once, so he'll be green to checker in P1, just crossing the line for the 63rd lap of the race. Scott Daniels in P2, very, very impressive effort. First day back this year, actually, driving in the McLaren. And it'll be great to see him back for Spa next round. P3, Marty Porter, still in Mercedes, still lapping quite consistently in the 115s. P4's Shane Gilford in the Pink Panther. P5 is Scott Fitzsimons. Looks like he's battling for P5 at the moment with Michael Donnellan. So this is the on-track battle at the moment between Scott Fitzsimons and Michael Donnellan. We're on board with Scott Fitzsimons in the Red Bull. Oh, and he's just tagged the back of Michael Donnellan deep under brakes. He's pulling over, just waiting for Donnellan to retake that position, redressing the issue as he did cause the accident, but Michael's finding it hard to get the car to turn around. They like to spin quite easily, as he almost gets in the way of Marty Porter. But Scott's still waiting for Michael Donnellan. That's good sportsmanship. And off he goes in P6. The field's definitely petered out, so definitely comfortable positions or timing between each position, so providing there's no late tyre blowout or any late pit stop that's going to cause change of positions, it looks like they're set for the end of the race. Again, Scott really dominating out front by himself on the softs at the moment, so he's really finding the softs are working for him at the moment, just hitting the curb there. Bit of a glitch. Go on board with Scott for a full lap. Let's see how he gets it done. Top gear, 8th gear, coming up to 320, 321 kilometres. Taking it into turn 1, turn 2, 5th gear. Coming in early, letting it float out wide, not burning the tyres too much. You get an early braking zone so we can get the car to turn in early. Take the inside curve, helping the car turn in more. Heavy braking in a left-hander. You want to just miss that apex but get a good run, get on the gas early. The deep braking zone here is it's an uphill. If you get that wrong, you end up on that sausage. Here's a nice fast right-hander. Taking it nice and easy in 6th gear, 300 kilometres an hour. Braking at the 100. Getting the car to turn nice and easy. Back on the gas. And a short stab on the brake, get the car turn in and let it drift out. Come in, avoid the big sausage. As mentioned before, they really upset the car and you can't get the power down until the car's settled. He's actually coming in for a late pit stop. As we're on board, he's obviously going for that late fastest lap of the race. As I said, you do get an extra point for the fastest lap of the race, so he'll come in for a fresh set with only 2 laps to go. Very quick pit stop from the Renault team. He still rejoins in P1. Like Scott and Marty together with only a couple laps to go in the race, so things are heating up back here. I did say that unless we have a pit stop of some sort, we won't see any position change, but this looks very close for the finish of the race. Only 1 or 2 laps to go now. Marty not in range for DRS, so it's going to be quite a comfortable lap. Scott Daniels on softs in the McLaren, and Marty's on medium, so it's going to be an uphill battle for Marty to regain that second position, but anything can happen. Scott Daniels in the Lando Norris colours. Weather really hasn't played a huge part in today's race. It did heat up, but it looks like the guys managed their tyres quite well. Still see Marty in the background, trying to chase down deeper on the brakes. Running a bit wide there. Scott's too strong through that section. He gets a good run down the main straight. Scott Black P1. Scott Daniels P2. Marty Porter close behind in P3. Shane Gill for the P4 for his first race of the season. Scott Fitzsimons P5. Currently with Michael Donnellan in P6. No early retirement. Thomas Foster in P7 and Mike McLean with that earlier spin. He's retired for P8. So it looks like Scott Flax crossed the finish line in P1. Congratulations to him, another dominating round from him. Showing off to the crowd, doing doughies. Sure he'll pay the fine after that podium. Well done to Scott Flack. As he does that, we'll bring up the championship table after that round. So Scott Flack stretches his lead out front with 109 points. Thomas Foster back in P2 with 84 points. Khalil Caesar Manning in P3. Michael Donnellan in P4 with 57. And Marty Porter on equal points. Scott Fitzsimons gaining position, moving up into P6 on 43 points. JC on 38 points. David Borg on 30. Trent Grabell 26 and Shane Gilford on 13 points. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this round of the Formula One League and hope you can join us for our next one at Spa.